Hi, welcome to AFTV. 3-0 win here at the Vitality Stadium. Under the sun. It feels so good to see Arsenal side play this well. I mean, the last guys that were on spoke about the documentary and how it feels like we're so much closer to the players. It all capped off with the performance today, don't you agree?
Yeah, I mean, you can sort of look at it, and I think I was fairly confident going in before the game, and my girlfriend's dad's a Bournemouth fan. He was like, we've got no hope. We've got no, and you sort of, you don't really sort of say that. You wouldn't have said that 3-4 years ago. You wouldn't. You sort of would have come in like, oh, maybe, we could get a 1-0 win, which I think we did get a 1-0 win, about 3-4 years ago, and we just nicked it. So to come in here, 3-0, possibly could have been 4-5, with the VAR decision. So I can't sort of praise them enough. Heard you mention earlier. I think maybe at some points they got a little bit too comfortable, and I think Bournemouth were missing Solanke an awful lot. And I didn't know he was out. I thought he was playing.
So did I, actually.
I was like, oh, this is brilliant. What's going on? But no, so I think it probably wasn't the biggest test for us, but I think, this is where you want to come when you're 3-4-0. I mean, like Man City does, and that sort of thing. And Liverpool probably will eventually along the season. But you can't praise it anymore, man. Can't praise it anymore.
I keep asking people, does it feel different? I keep saying that because I just spoke to a rival fan, a Bournemouth fan, and he said, listen, City came in, knocked 4 past us, and it didn't feel any different, which he said was a huge compliment. And I agree with that. He also mentioned about this is like a training match for you guys. Are we getting too carried away, or do you think, do you know what? I'm seeing enough. What we see from Arsenal is there's new improvement in signings. There's more squad depth. Yes, some people say they might want more, but what we're seeing, the style of football, the play, the mentality.
I mean, that's it. I mean, it's not just being comfortable and sort of being overconfident. We've got the quality to be that comfortable and confident, most of the time. Sometimes they might sort of catch us out a little bit, which, they almost did. I think Partey let a few passes go sort of in the middle of the park sometimes. Yeah. But no, you get a sort of belief that when, and when you see Tierney, coming off the bench, you know what I mean? And things like that. That's when you show that when we're in Europe, so we need that depth anyway. Yeah. But I agree, man. Honestly, it's such a completely sort of more of a confident feel. You look at the team, and now with Jesus up front, you don't see a sort of massive weak link. No. You know what I mean? It's not like when we have Shamak up front. You know what I mean?
Those days.
It's not one of them ones anymore. You know what I mean? It's not one of them ones. So you've got Jesus, and from Ramsdale to Jesus and everything in the middle. You just can't fault it at the moment. You can't fault it at all.
We saw the guy with the trust the process tattoo on his arm. Well, let's just talk about Mikel Arteta doing a really good job. And where do you think this team can end up this season from what he's done and what you've seen of him through like the likes of documentary and how much things have changed and clearly buying into his process and what he wants to see from this Arsenal club?
Top 4 is more secure than his airline. I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you. Honestly, if we don't make top 4 with this team, then I mean. It's very early on, but you got bear in mind, even though it was pre-season, I think what's that, 7 wins, 8 wins. Yeah. Bear in mind it's pre-season though, but it's still it's a good stat to have. Yeah. You'd rather that than have sort of 3 or 4 losses in there. And sort of on Arteta, I think it shows and it pays dividends to sort of like the people above. When you do give someone time and when you do, because I think 3 losses we had start of last season, right? Now if you flip that against United. All right, and I remember, I think it was Roy Keane said, "Oh yeah, I think they'll survive relegation," and I was like, "Now look at them," you know what I mean?
And we said that's just about us.
Exactly.
When he joked about us,
yeah. Now look at them. So honestly, and you can't fault his play, and you can't fault his style either, And I think I remember when he was getting hammered for still trying to play sort of out the back and sort of and sort of quick football when we was getting sort of pressed on and was losing the ball. Now it's not happening so much, and it looks beautiful. You know what I mean? It looks absolutely beautiful. It's like going straight back to the Invincibles almost. Dare I say it, brother? But it's almost getting there. It's almost getting there.
Yes. And then lastly, just to round up, your pick of the players today. Who was your standout?
Jesus. For me, because I mean, even though he didn't score, did he? No. He didn't score. I mean, he got disallowed.
Quality. Well, took that. I know it was disallowed, but took it very well. I think the keeper.
And sort of, especially in the first half, because I actually ended up having to stay with some Bournemouth fans, bless their souls. And you could bless their souls. No commiserations, but they're all lovely, like. Yeah. But you could see him, man. He was tracking. He was running. It's like he had lungs of titanium, man. He was just going, and that's what we needed. You know what I mean? Laka was getting on a little bit. I think we've all said, and Jesus now. The only thing I'm sort of thinking of is sort of where does Nketiah fit into it? You know what I mean? It's on a 4 or 5 year contract, so sort of where does he? And he knew that Jesus was probably going to be there. Yeah. So sort of that'll be an interesting battle as well. And he brought him on the left side, did he? Yeah. So you never know. But for me, Jesus today, outstanding.
Respect.
Shop for AFTV merch at shop.aftv.co.uk. Subscribe to us on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Snapchat and Twitch. We've got content for every platform, so check it out.